Yeah, yeah, we here. It's your boy, Chaos. It's your boy, Chaos. And it's just our opinion podcast segment. You know what I'm saying? This is a pre-recorded video. Um, I want to give a shout out to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Much love and respect to you guys that show love, uh, and to you that are basically trying to see and trying to get used to subscribing. You know what I'm saying? Please go to my channel at DJ Chaos, the Mixmaster. You know what I'm saying? And, if you got any kind of things that you want to promote, business savvy wise, your own business situation, I can help promote it. You know what I'm saying? Like, share, and subscribe. Um, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, this is going to be a pretty much try to make it short and sweet. Well, this, I didn't even get a chance to even put the subject matter, but the subject matter really is why we shouldn't be mad at Deion Sanders. Well, for one, Deion Sanders is just like anybody else in society that takes a job and they feel like the job is not basically enough at arms in the concepts of supporting their way of life. We tend to try to move on to another endeavor to where we are feeling comfortable. Not to say that Deion Sanders wasn't comfortable being at Jackson State, but there are things that people don't seem to understand. The reason why, how, and when, and where Deion Sanders, aka Primetime, was going. See, when he came over to Jackson State University, I don't think he really fully knew too much about the HBCU schools like that, and he really didn't know too much about Jackson, but he heard and was given the green light to come over, and they basically paid him pretty good to come over, and he did. And I'm sure he did the best he could to try to get Jackson State's a whole lot of promotional situation as far as businesses, different types of sponsorships and things of that nature. Getting a whole lot of popularity growth out of Jackson State. But one thing you got to understand, that one person can't do it, and that, yes, he did that. He's who he is. He's Deion Sanders, aka Primetime. He played in 3 different leagues in the NFL, and he's basically a very big minion to our society because he basically had a lot of power, as far as, the knowledge of self, of basically helping, the youngins, in our communities, which he did when he was over at Jackson State. He basically seemed to be very comfortable and very happy to be at Jackson State. But here's the thing. Jackson State has a little bit of support, or no, what I'm saying, didn't have that much support. And as Black people, we don't seem to understand the business concepts of things that we tend to want, but think that we supposed to get by just, I guess, this, off a silver platter, somebody just, Black, if he's Black, he's supposed to understand the struggles of this and that and another. Yeah, he does, but there's always a business perspective that goes along the way as well. And we can't just sit up there and ignore that prime time came to JSU on a business concepts. He didn't come there to be nobody's father, nobody's preacher, nobody's uncle, cousin, or nothing like that. He just came there to do business. And as he was there, helping motivate those football players as well as, the school, period. As he was getting in his comfort zone, Jackson, Mississippi, Jackson State University did not show proper let me get my word out, uh professional protocol on a business standpoint, meaning that they didn't have enough help as far as support, you know what I'm saying? Because the man wasn't really getting what he was getting out of the deal when he got there, you know what I'm saying? Then all types of stuff start falling off on the brother, you know what I'm saying? He got robbed. I read something about he had got robbed, and I seen a little clip that I would play, but I haven't saved it or whatever. But I seen a clip the other day, but it's old. Somebody said it was from one of the games they were playing, and he had his personal items locked up in the locker, and somebody broke in his locker and stole all the stuff. Not to mention, he had a health scare because Jackson, Mississippi has been having this problem with the water supply in the city. And he was told that he had to bathe in the school swimming pool or something like that. See, things like this make us look real bad as Black people because we don't seem to understand that most people are not going to just take crumbs and you just supposed to don't worry, be happy type of persona. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand the system of white supremacy in this country wants us to be at a certain ceiling in society to where they can come along and say, guess what? If your own kind don't treat you right, we'll come treat you right. Just to throw their weight around to show you that we are not together in unison like we need to be. So after all this stuff going down, then and I was seeing that he said something about he had to pay out of his pocket part of his salary, basically his salary, to get the things that the football players needed and so on and so on, meaning that they wasn't getting the real support that they supposed to have gotten. So with that being said, it's not making him feel any better because it's like he's just a one-man show. And people don't seem to understand that it's supposed to be all togetherness. And so by that happening, guess what happened? He was waiting on a good opening to come across, and it did. And Colorado State end up ringing his bell and showing hey, what is Jackson State giving you? Oh, they're giving me such and such. Oh, shit, we'll give you 10 times that much. You know what I'm saying? So guess what he gonna do? Just like anybody that feel like they need to get a better situation going in their life, they're gonna take the goddamn chances on moving into a different endeavor in a better lifestyle and things of that nature. And that's what he did. And people calling him a sellout, calling him, he just made a fool out of us and this and that and another third. But you can't say that. In your own head, you can say that, but in reality, you shouldn't want to say that because it sounds stupid as hell. Because the dude didn't come down. It wasn't like he came down there just making himself look good and wasn't doing shit behind it. That's one thing. But he was there basically doing something that the city of Jackson, who is basically, I mean, a lot of people that there are, football fans at Jackson State, should have gave more support than they did. And that's the thing about black people. That's the thing that really disgusts me about us being black people in this country, because we don't seem to have no kind of solidarity with each other. We just think one person can do it all for us. That was the thing that hurted us with Dr. King back in the 60s. And we put a lot of trust in Dr. King. And I'm believing that's where it all began, with this one person messiah shit. Because a lot of us don't think we can do 10 times as much as the ones that we call our leaders can do. But you got to understand, we the only race that do it, and we the only race that's brainwashed to do it. Caucasian people don't do it. The Jewish community don't do it. The Mexicans don't do it. The Koreans, the Chinese, everybody, every race on this planet don't sit around there and wait on one person to basically make moves for their communities but us. And we need to stop it. We need to get away from this generational curse that is being plagued up against us, especially in Mississippi. Because we're in the year 2022, about to be 2023, and we still have the slave mentality mindset to think that one person is basically going to save us from the enemy when we can save ourselves. Primetime did his part. He laid down the foundation of information, of knowledge to those players. And whoever else that's coming in that's going to coach can just build on top of that foundation that he laid out. And keep the good times rolling. Because Primetime is not the only person that can make moves for Jackson, Mississippi, for Jackson State University. Come on now. We need to get off the boo-boo. Stop depending on one messiah, because we all messiahs within each other. We all can make things happen if we put our resources together. And that's the problem. And that's the reason why Brother Sanders got on down, because we're not organized together like the Caucasian people are. That's the reason why he went where they at. Because they seems to give a fuck. And Deion probably ain't gonna say it because he don't want to hurt no feelings, but that's basically what it is. I'm sure it really hurt him to the fullest to know that he came there to try to make moves and make changes as far as that football team is concerned, but not getting enough attention, enough support from the JSU staff and many others at Jackson State University. So he did what he felt like he needed to do. And everybody's mad. Well, I'm not gonna say everybody's mad, because shout out to the ones that understand what's going on. They gave him much love and respect. But to the ones that sit up there getting in their feelings and talking all crazy, you don't have a clue. You needed to pick up a book and research and find out things before you start maintaining your judgment against this brother. Because the brother didn't do anything wrong out of the ordinary. Because that's just like if you working at McDonald's and you working check to check, but here comes a goddamn corporate job that says, hey Tyrone, we'll pay you 6 figures a year if you come work for us with good benefits and things of that, another third or whatever. And you're not gonna live check to check like you working at McDonald's making $30,000 or $40,000 a year. What you gonna do? you damn sure ain't gonna stay at McDonald's because it's things that you want to get, it's things that you want to do, it's things that you want to pursue in your life, and you don't want to be living check to check. So Dion felt the same way. I want to get a better situation for me and my family. But even though he says it's not about the money, and I get that part, it's about the support. Even though I can feel his energy when he said that because he basically did all he could with the checks that he was getting. He didn't have to do that, but he did it. And people sit around there and laid on their ass and let him do it by himself. So hey, if y'all don't give a fuck, why should he give a fuck? So much love and respect to the brother Prime Time, aka Deion Thunder. I wish him very well up there in Colorado. Call me a sellout, call me a coon, or Uncle Tom, or whatever the hell. But it ain't that. It's just real recognizing real right now. Much love and respect to you guys. That's just my take on this whole situation. Y'all have a good day. Deuces.